Tesla reports their Q3 earnings in a couple of days. Here are the top voted questions on Say, so no doubt most of these will be asked. Hopefully Tesla answers fairly directly. The first one, how many Cybertruck deliveries do you anticipate for 2024? Clearly, a lot of Tesla investors want to know. Now, I don't have a crystal ball, but I expect that Tesla's going to be aiming for at least one and not much more than that. If we're lucky, maybe 69. At most, probably 420, and I'm not actually joking. We've seen production candidates all over the United States recently, the trek down the Baja Peninsula. So obviously, production is about to begin. We're seeing castings piling up at Giga Texas as well. But I'll be very surprised if they're talking about anything even close to 1,000. What's your guess below? How many Cybertrucks do you think Tesla will deliver in 2024? I suspect once again Tesla will temper expectations for how quickly the ramp will happen. It is, after all, a brand new technology, a brand new way of manufacturing, putting together a vehicle. It really is from the future. The next most popular question, when do you expect Model 3 Highland to be available in the United States? I'm not sure exactly how Tesla's going to answer this question. After all, the earnings call isn't quite so much of a consumer-facing thing, but still, you tell people a brand new version is coming soon. I wonder what happens to existing sales. My best guess is probably Q4 or more likely Q1 2024, but time will tell. For those who don't know, they're already doing first deliveries or close to for Model 3 refreshes produced in China, which is, remember, Tesla's main export hub, so it's not just for China, but also Australia and other regions as well. The next question, can you provide a progress update on the 4680 cell, particularly progress towards performance improvements and cost savings outlined on Battery Day? Very much looking forward to hearing this. As we know, long term, these things were going to be much better and much more affordable than existing battery cell technology. Plus, Tesla's already passed on some information about the form factor and design to suppliers as well, who will also be building these so Tesla can slot supplier-produced 4680s into their own vehicles as well. It will, over the long term, I believe, become industry standard. An excellent question from an institutional investor. I'm impressed. Could you please provide an update on, first, the capacity expansion plans for the company's factories in Berlin and Austin? Now, this is a juicy question. Plus, the opening schedule of Gigafactory Mexico. I want to start with my own expectations for Giga Mexico. In case you haven't seen my Tesla valuation model, if you'd like to look, check out Patreon, join at the investor level and above, and you'll see this. The prediction's been in there since day one. I have the first production from Mexico, although it wasn't called Mexico when I put it in the valuation model, it was just a TBD. But first production from Mexico in 2025. Whether or not Tesla mentions this, who knows, but that's what I personally expect they'll be aiming for. They might be a bit more aggressive than that and have an internal goal of late 24, but that will be kind of insane. That being said, there is a lot less red tape in Mexico than, say, Berlin, so it's unwise to compare the time to construct, ramp, and actually start selling vehicles from the Berlin factory versus Mexico. Mexico should happen a lot quicker, close to the same pace as Shanghai. As for the expansion plans at the company's factories in Berlin and Austin, I don't think Tesla's going to give too much explicit detail, but early days we saw leaks with Berlin, ultimate capacity looking like it'll be about 2 million vehicles per year in multiple stages. First stage, 500,000, second stage, 500,000, you get the point. That being said, we know that Tesla continues to eke out incremental capacity improvements everywhere. Every time they make some changes to how they manufacture a vehicle, delete a few parts, some processes, some robots, some movement of parts across the factory footprint, they can actually get more vehicles produced in the same floor space. So there's never going to be a final cap on how many vehicles Tesla can produce at any facility. They'll always be figuring out ways to get more done from the same factory footprint. So even if factories don't have any planned expansions, new stages and so on, they'll still eke out more capacity from their existing facilities. I do expect long term, the Berlin factory itself will be producing 2+ million vehicles per year, potentially a lot more than that once again. These predictions are available in my valuation model all the way out until 2032. As for Austin, I suspect that's going to be comparable. Multiple millions of vehicles per year, plus multiple millions, perhaps tens of millions or more humanoid robots. And we now know, from Walter Isaacson's Elon Musk biography, that Tesla's next-gen vehicle will be produced first in Austin. At least the production lines will be developed and designed. So Austin's going to be producing Cybertruck, Model Y, the next-gen vehicle, humanoid robots, and who knows what else. Another question from a retail investor, why was the price dropped on FSD if it is getting better and Robotaxi is expected soon? My best guess here is Tesla's still trying to figure out how to price this product before it's capable of fully autonomously driving a vehicle, because after that fact, the value this thing represents, look out. I expect a massive price hike. But prior to then, prior to the point where you can go to sleep in a Tesla, turn up at your destination safely, I think Tesla's going to continue to fiddle around with pricing on FSD. But I expect a massive hockey stick moment going vertical once the capabilities are unlocked for full autonomy, safe autonomy. no longer needing to pay attention because the utility suddenly increases an enormous amount, so too the value, therefore I expect also the price. A question from an institutional investor. Mercedes is accepting legal liability for when its level 3 autonomous driving system, Drive Pilot, is active. Is Tesla planning to accept legal liability for FSD, and if so, when? So, spoiler alert, this is a pretty obvious one. At this point in time, Tesla's just trying to make their FSD better and more capable, but still requires constant human supervision. Therefore, the human is responsible, the human is liable. But once Tesla is confident enough that they can start activating the robo-taxis, obviously, Tesla will then take on liability if there are any accidents. And I expect, don't know for sure, but I expect that Tesla will offer an insurance product. Oh, wait, they already do. Oh, isn't that interesting? That will also expand to include liability insurance for FSD when there's an accident in the very rare case that it occurs. Another institutional question. Current sell-side consensus assumes that Tesla will deliver around 2.3 million vehicles in 2024, representing 28% growth versus 2023 guidance. Is this growth rate achievable without any mass market launches in 2024? Yes, and yes. And when does Tesla expect to return to its 50%? Oh my God, bro. Do we have to do the math again? These fucking potatoes, bro. Tesla is still on track with its 50% multi-year compound annual growth rate. How can these institutional investors be so dumb and so smart at the same time? Now, as for Tesla continuing to grow volumes without any new mass market products, ignore the Cybertruck because the volumes next year won't be huge. But yes, of course, bro. Have you not noticed that Model Y is literally the world's best-selling vehicle? There's no sign of that slowing down. It's climbing up the best-selling charts every country. It's still not available everywhere. Ay. But hey, there was one great institutional question, so I guess that compensates for this absolute abomination. It's always fun to hear what the mainstream media, often the fake news, has to say about electric vehicles. So let's read this. Automakers have big hopes for EVs. Buyers aren't cooperating. So on screen now, I just wanted to show you guys some data. A graph representing buyers not cooperating. After all, the fake news would never say anything that's a little inaccurate, which is why this isn't an exponential increase in electric vehicle sales globally trending up to the moon. Oh wait, it is. Curious. Now that they've baited us into reading the article, let's find out what they really mean. The auto industry's push to boost sales of electric vehicles is running into a cold, hard reality. Buyers' interest in these models is proving shallower than expected. Exactly. While EV sales continue to grow, rising 51% this year through September. Oh, yeah, okay, well, wait a minute. Where's this going? The rate has slowed from a year... Oh, my God. I just want to explain something. It is very easy for a very high percentage rate of growth on something from a very small starting point. Early days with electric vehicles, you were seeing multiple hundreds of percentages year-over-year growth in sales. It's not sustainable for very long. Let me illustrate the point. Watch what happens if we increase one by 50%, 10 times. Anyone want to guess in the comments below? What happens if we increase one by 50% 10 times? Let's say that this is one, representing 1% of all new vehicles sold being electric. That's growing 50% every year. Watch what happens. Year number 1, 1.5% next year. Oh, it's not too much. Year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, we're only at 11%. Cool story, bro. Year 7, 17%. Year 8, 25%. Year 9, 38%. Year 10, 57%. How close was your guess? And I'm going to take this to its conclusion. Year 11, 86%. Year 12, wait, what? More than 100%? Well, that's not possible, is it? It's inevitable that the percentage increase year over year for electric vehicle sales, in absolute terms, will be decreasing over time. But this is just an obvious outcome of math. That's how numbers work. So anyway, back to the article. The rate has slowed from a year earlier, and unsold inventory is starting to pile up for some brands. There, we're getting some truth now. Some brands, not Tesla. Some car companies, such as Ford Motor and Toyota Motor, are tempering their expectations for EVs and shifting more resources into hybrids, which have been drawing consumers at a faster clip. Oh, God. Once again, they're just getting confused with numbers here. I'm not even going to click through this article, but I can spoil what we'll see there, obviously. Less hybrids are being sold, starting from a smaller base. Therefore, a few extra people buying a few hybrids makes it look like percentage terms, year over year, a much greater rate of growth on a very small base. The first wave of buyers willing to pay a premium for battery-powered cars has already made the purchase. Dealers and executives say. Dealers and executives at legacy automotive manufacturers. And automakers are now dealing with a more hesitant group, just as a barrage of new EV models are expected to hit dealerships in the coming years. Quote, "The curve isn't accelerating as quickly as I think a lot of people expected," said John Lawler. On screen now, I just want to share once again with you guys. Okay. How much faster did you expect, John? Oh, they're talking about the Ford curve. Oh, right. Oh, I get it. So what Ford's really saying, Ford's chief financial officer, claiming that they're seeing EV adoption flatten a bit, what he's really saying is no one wants to buy our electric vehicles. This isn't regarding electric vehicle adoption. This is regarding Ford electric vehicle adoption. Different story. The abrupt slowdown in EV sales is a contrast to a year ago when car makers found themselves caught off guard by long waiting lists for battery-powered cars and trucks. It is also a troublesome sign for the car manufacturers ploughing billions of dollars into building factories and battery plants to support what they hope, which is not a strategy, will be a strong pickup in demand for plug-in models. Now, there's essentially unlimited demand for these. If you make them, they're compelling, they're priced well, they will sell. Then again, sometimes easier said than done. Tesla's nailed it, but not too many others outside of China have. Check out this chart. EV prices fall. The average selling price of an electric vehicle has declined sharply this year, close to $60,000 early in the year, and now close to $50,000. And check this out. ICE vehicles in red. Notice something, the trend. EVs, fast approaching. By the way, this is all electric vehicles, including Teslas, which are actually much cheaper than this. So if it was just Tesla, the line would already be low. But this is all electric vehicles. Even the shitty ones that are priced too expensive. Still close now to ICE vehicle price. Guess what? This yellow line isn't magically just going to go flat once it reaches ICE vehicle. It's going to continue to fall through. And this is the point where it becomes an absolute no-brainer. In recent years, the auto industry's pivot has accelerated, prodded by Tesla's meteoric rise and tougher regulations globally on tailpipe pollutants. I really don't think that regulations have had anything to do with this, guys. Why would it be that companies will be paying Tesla millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in ZEV credits? If the regulations work, the companies will just be making the electric vehicles. The only reason they're starting to panic now is because they realize that Tesla's made compelling vehicles and the industry is shifting. The Biden administration has made EVs a centerpiece of its industrial policy, and the United Auto Workers Union is on strike at the Detroit car companies, in part because it is worried about future job security as engine and transmission plants disappear. In fairness, those jobs are going to disappear. Still, many consumers are reluctant to make the switch, deterred by higher sticker prices and the inconvenience of driving a vehicle that has a limited range and needs regular recharging. Oh, fuck me, dude. What are they? I mean, maybe there are some EVs out there with terrible range. Like internal combustion engine vehicles don't need regular charging. And I mean, Tesla's got vehicles on the market now with 350, 400 plus miles of range. What are they talking about? Oh, right. This article isn't about Tesla. It's about not Tesla. Fair enough. Quote, I just wasn't ready to get an electric car yet, said some guy who was recently in the market and had considered a battery-powered car. He instead bought a plug-in hybrid, noting that it gets 40 to 50 miles on a single battery charge, more than he drives in an average day. The guy says that he drives 40 to 50 miles in a day, yet he wasn't ready for an electric vehicle because of range anxiety. Yet he himself confesses to driving about 40 to 50 miles per day, and he has anxiety about a vehicle that has 6, 7, 8, 9, sometimes close to 10 times the necessary range for his daily drives. Quote, when I use that up, then it's a hybrid, said the 64-year-old resident of California. The share of the retail market held by EVs has leveled out to around 9% for the past several months, according to... yes, okay. As we can see on screen now. Don't worry, it's obviously flattening off now. No harm in reading into the details too much over a very short interval of time. You go, oh, it's just flat the last couple of months. Oh, no, it's slowed down. Uh-oh. Raising broader questions about whether the industry is confronting a short-term blip or a more protracted challenge. Yeah, once again, please let me know what you guys think. Protracted challenge here or short-term blip? Car makers are reacting to the slackening demand by cutting prices and offering discounts on EVs. Some are resetting ambitious forecasts. Ford pushed back a plan to produce 600,000 EVs annually to late 2024 instead of the end of this year. Now, you know why Ford did this? It ain't because of a lack of demand, really. It's because of a lack of ability to produce enough of the vehicles. Turns out, volume production of compelling electric vehicles is hard, even if you're an expert at making cars that have internal combustion engines. Hyundai, which has been aggressive in adding new EVs to its lineup, is offering a free charger to attract buyers. What, like a few $100s? Along with a discount to install it, a promotion worth about $1,100. EV market leader Tesla has also wrestled with slowing global sales this year despite steep price cuts across its lineup. Industry-wide, the average price paid for a battery-powered vehicle was just over $50,000 in September compared with $65,000 during the same period last year. I wonder what this is going to look like 12 months from now. For many consumers, those upfront costs remain too high, especially with interest rates going up. Ding, ding, ding. Dealers and analysts say prices will likely have to come down to appeal to a wider range of car shoppers, many of whom are accustomed to paying under $40,000 for a new vehicle. One, yes, prices will have to come down to reach the mass market. And they are. 2, somebody remind me what you can purchase an entry-level Model 3 for in the US right now? Quote, there was a bit of exuberance thinking that the market would adopt EVs at the same rate early adopters were, said president of Galpin Motors, which owns one of the largest Ford dealerships in the US. Yes, exuberant thinking about the market adopting EVs at the same rate of early adopters. Once again, on screen right now, good point there, Galpin. The electric Mustang Mach-E was the dealership's top-selling vehicle last month, but he still had unsold vehicles. Customers are not knocking down the door to buy them. That's right, they're busy ordering Teslas online instead. In September, Ford had a 3.5-month supply of unsold Mustang Mach-E's, more than double the industry average, according to a research firm. Now, is it possible that the Mustang Mach-E is struggling because the Model Y also exists in the exact same category and it's a much more compelling option? Spoiler alert, yes. Hyundai, Kia and Volkswagen also saw sharp increases in their electric vehicle inventories last month from the same period a year ago. A Ford spokesman said the company's EV sales remain strong, increasing 14.8% in the just-ended quarter, and the supplies for the Mustang Mach-E have steadily increased since June after a planned factory shutdown. Kia attributed the current deceleration to, quote, short-term market fluctuations, and Volkswagen acknowledged the EV market in the US has softened but said demand is still robust. EV startups are also feeling the pinch from slower-than-expected sales growth. Companies such as Rivian and Lucid find themselves with unsold inventory, despite building relatively low numbers of vehicles at their factories. I'm pretty sure Rivian's selling everything they're making. I mean, obviously, you can't sell them instantly. They need to get shipped. Lucid, on the other hand, yeah, they're really struggling. Skipping ahead a little bit, the article goes on to tout how incredible hybrid sales are at the moment. And rest in peace in advance, Toyota. Toyota in September had a little more than a week's worth of Prius hybrids in stock, meaning many customers faced long waits for one. By comparison, the Japanese automaker had more than 2 months' supply of its newest electric SUV. The cat walked across the keyboard. An indication those vehicles are starting to stack up at dealerships. Quote, we are trying to make as many hybrids and plug-in hybrids as possible, some guy from Toyota said. Now, you know what Toyota should be doing? Trying to make as many electric vehicles as possible. The problem is their current steaming pile of excrement, the BXY, whatever the it's called, is a piece of shit. And that's why no one's buying them, because it's a piece of shit. All Toyota need to do is not make a piece of shit electric vehicle and it will sell. But unfortunately, I don't think they've figured that out, nor will they before they end up going bankrupt. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. Athletic Greens AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. Athletic Greens AG1 is an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a fuck ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point and something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy. Wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it. You'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, Snake Oil Salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. And remember, there is a 90-day money-back guarantee. There's nothing to lose here. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.